What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the real of reality TV. Man, let me just go ahead and play this clip because I found it very interesting. This is Carlosking. He was sharing some words regarding real life versus social media. And he said something that I had some thoughts about. So let me just go ahead and play this clip really quick.
Happy Sunday, raindrops. The message of the day is real life versus social media life. This message was inspired by me seeing that Nicki Minaj sold out of 18 consecutive shows, and she has more coming. If you pay attention to what people say about her on social media, you would think that would never happen. But in real life, everybody came out to support her. So that goes to show you cannot put inventory of what people say about you on social media, online, on the internet, when they gossip about you. You always have to remember that when they attack you, they secretly love you. No one who is doing better than you is ever going to attack you. That's never going to happen. They're too busy living life, working on themselves, having multiple streams of income. They're never going to attack you. The people who attack you, they're your biggest fans.
All right, so there's really no need for me to play any more of this because, listen, I get what he's trying to say. And in some ways, you know how somebody can say something that is accurate, but it may not be accurately about them. And I will basically say this about him because I feel that message that he was trying to spew, not share, but spew, was meant to be a message for people who are sharing their thoughts, views, and opinions about a lot of the things that he does that are seen and some things that people feel that he is doing either in the dark or people feel like he is insinuating or he's low-key doing things that are really messy. And also, I found it ironic because when people talk about it being haters, I often feel that is an overused term and reference that a lot of people love to talk about. Oh, you're just a hater. If you share an opinion about someone, say, for example, if you share an opinion about Beyonce, because she has a huge fan base and following, I look at these things. I really do, just for the sake of one, entertainment, and two, a little bit of research and sort of a diagnosis of people's minds to show me how really lost in the mind a lot of people are these days when it comes to worship and idol culture. And that if someone says something about someone that they deem as perfect in a lot of ways or their favorite, then you're a hater or you're jealous. And that is not the case for a lot of people. But we know that there definitely are haters that exist. And there are people that are embodying the spirit of jealousy and envy and all of those things. It's definitely a real thing. But it's not always haters. But I found it ironic for him, of all people, to be talking about this because he's talking about, people who are always talking about you or always thinking about you. They're basically people that love you. So I guess what he's really saying is he loves Bravo. He loves the people who have been Bravo celebrities or Bravo personalities because he seems to speak about those people more than he does of the people that he claims he loves to work with and he loves to make stars. What stars has he really made? I mean, like, really, that he did versus people just drawing themselves and connecting to people in a way so much so that even he, I believe, in some ways embodies some semblance of jealousy and envy. Because I'm just going to say this, and I've said this over and over again. I am someone that I deem myself as a supporter of Melody Cherie Rogers because I admire her tenacity. I admire her courage. I admire her fortitude and her strength, and the fact that she did not allow a situation that a lot of women would feel like they're trapped in, even getting to the point where it's like, okay, now I'm in the public eye and now I have a television show and now more people are seeing me. That actually would cause some people who are a bit fearful to feel like I have no choice but to stay in this now because of all of the eyeballs that are on me, versus choosing the route that she took, which is finally to say, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm not going to take this anymore. I can do better. And I don't care what anyone says or thinks about me. I'm moving on with my life. But I, in some way, feel that Carlos does embody some jealousy and envy towards this woman, because when this title came up of the millimeters, the people who were like diehard fans and supporters of Melody, then when did this thing about raindrops come about? That's weird to me. To me, I feel like that was in a way him maybe not even consciously, but subconsciously expressing the jealousy and envy that I feel like he embodies towards Melody, to say, oh, well, you can have your millimeters, but I got my raindrops. What? That's to me weird. You're supposed to be the producer of the show, someone that's low-key behind the scenes. And we know that Melody, she was really big into, and still is, social media, chose to feel comfortable with people and share a lot of what she was going through with the people who were following her and supporting her on social media, and not just saving everything for the cameras to record and them being able to edit, cut out, and show and share whatever they want to share. She took her power back and said, no, I'm not going to allow y'all to do that. I'm going to share what I want to share when I'm not filming. And I think that that's great. And it allowed a lot of people to connect to her. So now you've got Carlos with his podcast, his YouTube channel, and he's interviewing all of these different people, and he's doing his whatever it's called, Messy Mondays with Dr. Heavenly, and he's always talking about everybody else. And it's just like, raindrops. Yes. You know, like stealing stuff from some of my favorite content creators like Alexander Rogers with the allegedly, selling allegedly merch when Alexander Rogers has been doing that for I don't know how long now. And just a lot of the moves that he's making, to me, it just seems like he is a bit of a copycat and he embodies some jealousy and envy. And I do believe that. So for him, of all people, to sit and have this moment, to do this video where he's sharing his inspirational message to his followers about the people who are constantly hating on you, they low-key love you. So I guess maybe that's to say he low-key loves Melody, because to me, that's what it seems like. To me, I guess he loves Andy Cohen. To me, it seems like he's talking about himself. But I digress. I just thought that was ironic and a bit comical, so I wanted to share it with you guys. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section about that. And child, here we go with Porsha. We go back to Porsha in this home. So listen, I wanted to talk about this really quickly because I just talked about this recently, and it's kind of funny that the subject of this is coming back up because I have my thoughts on it and I would really love to know what you guys think. So it's being reported that in court documents obtained by Radar Online, Simon denies Porsha's claims that he changed the locks and kicked her out of their marital home. And it's important to note that the home was purchased by Simon prior to their marriage. He claims it's the only home he owns in the U.S. Per the report, quote, Simon said he's been the sole payer of the purchase and expenses on the mansion since buying it in November of 2021. It goes on to say Simon informed the court that he's remained in the marital house with his children during the divorce, adding that Porsha has since moved back into the marital residence since filing for an emergency hearing. It's also important to note that Porsha does have her own home that she bought for $1.8 million after Cordell said, you got to leave this home. You ain't got to go to your mama's home, but you got to get the hell up out of here, okay? And got the U-Haul, packed everything up, and sent her on her merry way. Okay, to me, it's weird because, listen, if it's documented that he purchased the home prior to them getting married, it's not their residence unless he put her name on the deed. Her name definitely is not on the mortgage, but unless he put her name on the deed, I just don't see how that could be her marital home. And she already has her own place. But again, I spoke about this a little bit before. She's like leveled up. Porsha, she doesn't want to downgrade. This has been Porsha's MO from the times we have seen her on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Everything has been a superficial, staged situation. Everything has been about material. Everything has been about the stuff, you know? So when Claudia was on RHOA on season 7 and she said, I know for a fact that the guy that bought you the Rolls Royce is a married African dude. I believed her back then. I know there's some people right now that are questioning not Porsha, but Claudia's credibility when it comes to a lot of different things because of pictures circulating online. I don't know nothing about all that stuff. I have no way of knowing. I wasn't there. If she says that she didn't have any involvement with the the Mr. Combs man, then I guess she didn't. I don't really care either way, because if she did or she didn't, that's her cross to bear. But I did believe her when she said those things about Porsha. And Porsha, she stayed mute. She did not respond. And then they showed her in a confessional talking to the camera, talking about all the stuff that she's gotten. She's like, those are blessings. Get you some. And it's like, girl, don't blame your coochie sliding up and down some African man's you-know-what that gave him the weakness to give into you, to give you what you wanted material-wise, to now become a blessing from the good Lord above. I'm sorry. I just am not buying it. But again, everything with her has been about material and about the look and the glitz and the glam and all of that stuff about appearances. And I do believe that she feels that for the sake and purposes of what she does now, which I believe is pretty much a high-level online social media influencer, it's more beneficial for her to be in this upgraded space that she's become accustomed to. Okay? And so now she's wanting to be the squatter. She decided, I'm done with this marriage, but I'm not done with this mansion. So I want to stay here. Wah, 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 wah. And I am not a fan of Simon, none whatsoever. But I honestly am hoping that he gets to keep his home and he gets to get her the hell up out of there. I don't feel sorry for her. I feel that she should just go back to her own place. And if she wants something bigger and better, sell that home that I am quite sure has appreciated in value that she bought, and get something bigger. So I just wanted to talk about that briefly, guys. You can let me know what you think. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.